Waking up to another message from the bank. Another balance you didn't want to see. Bills waiting in a silent stack by the door that nobody wants to open. There is a moment, quiet but heavy, where you wonder if life is measuring you, testing who you are beneath all the noise. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are. So when a difficulty falls upon you, remember that God, like a wrestling trainer, has matched you with a rough young man. For what purpose? So that you may become an Olympic conqueror. But it is not accomplished without sweat. Epictetus said, Discourses 124:1. In a fluorescent-lit break room, you scroll your phone for side jobs, expenses to cut, or maybe some shred of good news. You're not looking for philosophy, but here it is, battered and real, not in ivory towers, but on the mat. Financial hardship isn't an abstraction. It's felt by the gut before the mind makes sense of it. Epictetus, once a slave and never wealthy by choice, saw adversity as proof that the universe believes you're not made of weak stuff. So this hardship, it's not a sign that life finds you lacking. The struggle itself is what tests the edge of your character, shapes it, and makes it visible to yourself. Most of us would rather skip the match and take the easy win. But by facing real deprivation and anxiety, we find out what's unbreakable under pressure and what needs forging. It's a training ground, he's saying, sweat included. What ought one to say then as each hardship comes? I was practicing for this, I was training for this. Epictetus said, Discourses 115:2. When the next bill lands, or an appliance breaks at the worst possible moment, the story you tell yourself matters. Here's a different story. I was practicing for this. Instead of seeing yourself as the victim, imagine you've been in training. All the small frustrations, the unexpected charges, the job rejections, the frugal weeks are not setbacks. They are reps. Each one teaches endurance to disappointment and the will to adapt. When a financial setback comes, that's not proof you're cursed. The Stoic turns toward it, repeating, I was training for this. This phrase is a shield and a lens. It reframes pain as preparation, a way to transform fear into readiness, to meet instability with steadiness. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Look at how high virtue must climb. You will understand that it is not to travel by a safe path. Seneca said, on Providence 2:4, a house's true strength only shows in a storm. Gold is just rock until it faces the flame. Only then does its purity show. Your character, too, is just theory until the fire comes. Financial stress burns hot and long. Those late-night worries, that creeping embarrassment about what you can't afford, threaten to hollow you out. But Seneca, born to privilege yet writing in exile as Rome's fortunes turned, reminds us, a painless, easy path never forges anything worthy. The safe road asks nothing of us, but the hard road, the one crowded with debt, pruning, and disappointment, that's where virtue trains. That's where courage and honesty become less of a speech and more of a living, breathing part of you. It is difficulties that reveal what men are. Therefore, when a difficulty befalls you, remember that God, like a wrestling master, has matched you with a rough young man. Epictetus said, Discourses 2:16-11. Notice what's happening here. It's not the comfort that reveals you. It's not the good year, the big bonus, or the months when nothing goes wrong that show your mettle. Difficulty is the great revealer. When you look back on the times you most respect yourself, rarely are they the easy seasons. It's always the lean months, the moments when you almost buckled, the days you said no to cynicism and got back up. When you're under financial pressure, it's the decisions made under stress, will I act out of desperation or principle, that define who you are when the tide eventually turns. So, if life's matched you against something rough, it's because there's something in you still waiting to be called out. You are a great man, but how do I know? If fortune gives you no opportunity of showing your worth, Seneca said, on Providence 5:4. Anyone can claim to be strong, generous, resilient when the wind is at their back. The Stoics saw greatness not as a birthright, but as a response. Are you courageous because you say so, or because the world demanded it? Seneca, target of assassination plots, banished and condemned, knew that only adversity authenticates greatness. So when the pay gets cut, or the bills outpace your hope, there is an opportunity hidden under pressure. Here's your moment, quiet, thankless, weighty, to prove your worth not to the world, but to yourself. No resume can list it, you carry it inside. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Seneca said, Letters 7813. Fear makes the numbers in your bank account loom larger. Shame about asking for help glues your feet to the floor. But Seneca, wise with scars from both wealth and suffering, flips this logic on its head. Often, it's not the hardship that breaks us, but our own paralysis. We wait for courage instead of acting toward it. Daring, in the Stoic sense, isn't wild risk. It's a willingness to face discomfort head-on. That means the next time you feel frozen, by debt, by job loss, by a future that doesn't add up, what if you moved first before certainty came? What if you made the call, reworked the budget, or stepped into the discomfort? Doing this, you might discover the hardship wasn't as immovable as it seemed. Most of the barrier was internal. Not to feel exasperated or defeated or despondent because your days aren't packed with wise or moral actions, but to get back up when you fail, to celebrate behaving like a human, however imperfectly, and fully embrace the pursuit that you've embarked on. Marcus Aurelius said, Meditations 5.9. In a world that sorts winners and losers by what's in their wallets, real resilience is quieter. It's the person who feels the full brunt of failure and instead of collapsing, rises again. The person who loses their footing, but not their spirit. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, ruler of an empire on the brink, but also a father, a grieving husband, a man kept awake by problems outnumbering solutions, scribbled these lines in the margin of his own exhaustion. Not every day will be clean or noble. That's not the point. The Stoic watches their own faltering with patience and tries again. If you failed today, lost your temper in a collection call, or cracked under the shame of not providing, you're not finished. Climbing back up counts. When money is tight and options few, you can still choose dignity. You can celebrate behaving like a human, meaning you try, you fall, you get up, imperfect and alive. So what does all this look like inside our daily grind? Imagine a father opening the empty fridge one more time, or a young woman taking 3 buses to her second job, or anyone anywhere lying awake with numbers cycling endlessly through their minds. The Stoics don't say, cheer up, it will all get better. They say, you are in training, even this counts. When you meet hardship, answer it. I was training for this. Let your struggle reveal you, sharpened, not broken. You might write this down on a scrap of paper. I practiced for this day. Maybe you wake each morning and imagine yourself tying up old wrestlers' boots, stepping into the ring, not against the world, but against your own restlessness, fear, and self-doubt. Greatness isn't comfort achieved. It's struggle endured with open eyes. The test is daily, and it's not glamorous. It's in your patient budgeting, in your honest talk with your partner about what can be cut, in not pretending, not blaming, not choosing bitterness, in daring when you feel you cannot move. Each hardship is a chance to show what you're made of, not to others, but to yourself, maybe even to the kind of future you hope to build. If this stayed with you, there are more stories waiting, old words, new lives, still grappling with the same fight.